If you're a man, you don't cry about it. You take life, the ups and downs. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. That's why this sport coat costs $800 and that costs $200. And I don't know what that costs, I'd be ashamed to wear it. That's why I'm wearing lizard shoes and a Rolex watch.
Importing it, snorting it, any competition extorting it, anything I want affording it, got enough crack to get four to hit, turn a saint to a sinner, lose to a winner, whether old school or upbeat, getting my shit's the best, Rick's the best, have your heart beating right out your chest, that Ric Flair like, woo! That Ric Flair like, woo! This is all I do, I got that Ric Flair like, woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, that Ricky make a girl go, woo!
Goblin Ogre, Goblin Ogre, Goblin Ogre, Goblin Ogre. That's our new start. I'm just gonna say it 4 times. Not 5, not 3. I was just like searching for something for this podcast on Bing. Because this browser I got through my internet, like virus security, whatever, on my laptop, they like give you a free browser and they're like, it's safer, you get less viruses if you use this browser. So I'm like, whatever. I didn't really care. It's so similar to Chrome that I was like, whatever. But it's set up to use Bing, which is Microsoft's version of Google. Bing is so fucking bad. It's so bad. You realize now you're like, I don't like monopolies. I kind of miss the days of like Ask Jeeves and all this other stuff. I really hate monopolies.
Ask Jeeves was the worst though.
I
They
know,
got rid of that guy fucking quick.
This
and
is what
you could just tell Bing sucks because of the name.
Yeah.
Like they clearly just named it something stupid like Timu. It's like you could always tell like when something is a lower version
bad.
of anything else. It's the name.
It's the name.
Like, the name is shit. Like Microsoft is cool, like a good name.
Yeah.
So you can kind of trust that. Fucking Apple, even though it's tied into a lot of satanic beliefs, is a better name than Bing. Yeah. You never heard of the Apple?
Apple or Apple the company? Apple an Apple?
Company.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, there's the obvious connection with the apple in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, exactly. And the price that they released it at when it first came out, it was like $666.
No, was it? Was it?
Yeah, look it up if you want.
That's
There's
great...
all these
no, I was gonna look it up, and then I realized I would have to look it up on Bing. And I'm like, I'll never find it.
It'll take us 20 minutes, but we will get there. Nah, viruses are inevitable, man. Nowadays, it's not even so much viruses. It's they'll put something like, do you agree to this? They'll put something so you have to click yes or whatever. And by clicking on it, apparently it just leads you to all these like hackers or all these like people who are able to now hack your computer or your phone or your iPad or whatever. So now that's the new virus. It's just these little traps that they set up for you. Do you accept this? And you do, and next thing you know, they're in your shit.
Well, I did look it up. Bing was not so bad here. $666.66. I have to, if we go the non-conspiracy route, right? If we go just for that for a second, that's a bunch of fucking nerds that think that's fucking cool to do that. Right? If you go the conspiracy route, which I'll be honest, I have no issue going because I hate Apple products anyway, and I'm a good Christian boy.
What's up with nerds and Satanism? Like they're just kind of, we're gonna unleash the Dark Lord and everyone's gonna bow to us. Like, what's up with the fucking super geeky thinking that the things from hell are awesome? You think that's their way of summoning demons to come eat or destroy the people that have wronged them?
I think that's what I think it's related to, like, the problem is times are changing and it won't maybe make sense anymore. And then we'll see if they were really like, if the devil is really in control of that part of the people because whatever. But I do think it's a downtrodden, bullied tactic because I think we get a lot of stuff from the US, and you have to think about the US, and I'm picturing like the fucking Midwest or the South or whatever. Very super Christian, right? And all the football players and stuff, they have their moms with the beehive haircut, and they all go to Christian church, and they
Sure.
do all that stuff. And then if you're bullied by those people and their kids,
Yeah.
you're gonna turn to, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I think that's probably where the nerd connection to
To the
goth
devil.
devil
Yeah.
stuff. I think that's where that comes from. Is they're nerds looking for a bigger bully to take on their bullies.
And who's a bigger bully than Lucifer himself, right?
One might say the first ever bully.
Yeah, what was he? The uncle of all lies, the father of all tricks. Yeah,
But
he's
if you do just follow the story, he is just a bully because he God is his dad. He's an
yeah,
older brother bully. God is his
yeah,
dad, and he's like his first son. I mean, he's got a bunch of first sons, but he has his first son. Then God has a different family, because him and the wife get divorced, and he has a
yeah.
different set of kids. And these are the younger siblings of
Like
Lucifer,
like all great
humans.
powerful men do,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
divorced.
yeah. Get it right the second time, as we always
Yeah,
say. And he's got this next set of kids, and he brings them around the older siblings, and he's like, "Hey, this is your little brother, be nice." And
right.
Lucifer's fucking now a disgruntled older brother, and he goes, "Fuck
Yeah,
this! I'm gonna swirly these humans for the rest of time."
right. He's angry, arms crossed in his room, listening to loud music because that's who he was,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
angel of music or whatever. And then like, you know what? I'm gonna start my own life. I don't need you, Dad. And then he comes to
Yeah,
Earth,
yeah.
and
That's
his
right.
whole job is just to corrupt God's new children.
That's
You know what I
correct.
mean?
That's that's
Uh,
that's the history. Lucifer, world's first bully.
I like this. Why do they teach us shit like this in school this
This is
way?
Oh, we should
That way,
become
if you get,
teachers.
yeah, that way if you're getting picked on, you can tell the bully, you know, you're acting very much like the devil, and then you're like, oh, cool, and then he kills the kid.
I do think I'm a little forgiving of some people who like get into devil stuff because I think it's always been cool to be counter culture or whatever. So I think there's another set of people. There's the nerds who get into the goth stuff because they want it the ultimate bully or whatever. But then there was also the guys who were just like fucking uh idiots or whatever, but like cool guys, and they'd be like everybody at school is telling them like, "Oh, you got to don't forget, pray to Jesus," and all that kind of
I
stuff, and they go like, "Oh, fuck that, the devil's cool," and they just think it's like funny to be that guy,
Yeah.
Bill Hicksy kind.
Yeah,
Love
those
him.
assholes who think they're smarter than everything and they go
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
toy around with this. But no, I'm with you. I think the younger they are and they get into it because they're, they got low self-esteem and they think it's cool. I'm have an easier time forgiving those kids because you know what
yeah, yeah,
happens is they get into it, but they still have that little gay innocence about them. So they'll still, dwell in it as they get a little older and older
yeah, yeah, yeah,
until something super creepy happens to them and then they turn to God. The
yeah,
guy
yeah,
who
yeah,
the
yeah,
Bill Hicks asshole will not get into it, but fuck with it, and something would happen to him, like he'll see a face in the mirror or some shit, and he'll just blow it off like a big
yeah,
jerk.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
oh, that's just my imagination. It's probably just too much of the weed smoking. And he'll never get out of it until Lucifer is actually torturing him in hell. And that guy, I don't feel bad for.
By the way, if you
The
just
arrogance.
follow, it's very a lot of very, but if you just follow, like if you believe in this stuff and you follow like the religious story of like what happens, which is Lucifer tempts me in life to do bad things, do whatever, right?
Yeah.
Tempts me to do bad things. I do those bad things. I end up in hell, and then Lucifer goes, "Ha ha, gotcha,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tortures you. What an asshole! What a
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit!
He fucking wedgies and kicks you in the balls for eternity. Believing his bullshit. Yeah.
He's
He is the
basically
ultimate jerk.
he's a fucking asshole. He's like someone who goes, "Hey, come on, have a drink or whatever," to an alcoholic, and then the fucking
Yeah.
person falls off the wagon, and then he goes, "I'm gonna take your kids now because you're an alcoholic and you can't raise them." And you're like, "Fucking set me up." I
He's
did make the
everybody's
decision, but
yeah.
you set me up.
He's everybody's toxic boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. He's that guy that goes in, influences your life, gets you pregnant, and then leaves. And then you
Yeah,
call him, oh, he was a narcissist. If anyone's a narcissist, it certainly is the devil
the
himself, the
devil.
morning star.
Lucifer, two things. First ever bully, also first ever narcissist.
Confirmed narcissist.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Number two, confirmed narcissist. Eve being like, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna eat that apple.
that's right.
Do you want to hear an
So,
embarrassing Eve story? Well, not an
yes.
Eve story, but when I was in elementary school, I I was at an age where I had started to figure out how to say things you didn't believe to get people to like you. You know? Like just I strayed away from this later a little bit. I think I'm still kind of a people pleaser, but still, I there was like an evil where I said, and there was a few things I did. There was one where like people in my class thought I was friends with the weird kid, and when he wasn't
Yeah.
around, pretended I wasn't. There's like a longer story to that, but I started to do things like that. And around this age, I had a female teacher as my main teacher, and we were talking about Adam and Eve, and I wrote in my essay because also she was kind of cute, to like that it wasn't really Eve's fault, you know, like she it was even though
She
she
was
was the one that had
seduced.
the apple, she was seduced, and also Adam would have done the same thing, and we can't look at women as the fault of, like, I wrote this whole fucking white knight. Like
Oh
in like grade
God.
4, I wrote a white
Yeah.
knighty
A
essay.
white knight letter apology for Eve, just to impress this teacher. Oh, you
and,
are a worm.
and I got such a good grade. She talked to me about it later.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She asked you to stay after class.
Yeah.
Did it work? Was she impressed? Was she
She
all
was
like, "Oh,
very
this is"?
impressed. I got a good grade. She told me, she's like, yeah, I think the same thing or whatever. Because I'm guessing she was very early on, like liking that kind of stuff. Like,
That's interesting. That people pleasingness of yours that you just described, you were
yeah,
able to be very creative and think outside the box as far as, you know what, no one's ever said this before, but this could have happened to Adam. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
like maybe the slithery serpenty thing, Eve thought that that was attractive and she was just like, oh, I'm gonna confide in this giant penis looking thing. Whereas if a sexy pony approached Adam,
I never, I'm not gonna lie, until you said it, I never looked at the snake as a sexy penis.
a giant slithering cock. Yeah.
You think that was
It's
part of it?
symbolic.
Oh, it's so funny. I never put. I not. I wait. I want to stop this. I was gonna say I never put two and two together and thought about that. I'm not saying I agree with you. I'm just saying I never thought about that angle, and I'll have to spend more time on this.
You agree.
You agree? Just letting you know I got it. Although you apparently you don't hear it that well. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's why I have such a disdain now. Well, I guess I don't speak to this that much, but I do for like white knight people and like the whole like virtue. I learned this word recently, even though it's been used for years. Virtue
Yeah.
signaling or
Right.
whatever is because I at a very young age I learned that technique, but
Yeah.
I grew up into a normal human being who only does it once in a while.
And
And
you
I
and you
hate it.
did it and you picked up on the disgusting like just that whole like I'm trying to
Yeah. Trying to
like I'm
be
trying to be
liked.
better than what I really am.
I found
Oh,
ways as an adult to like try to be liked in a more morally acceptable way in my own like heart or whatever.
yeah.
Of like, I'm not gonna say mean things to people. I'll avoid that, avoid confrontation a little bit, stuff like that. But that part that it was like grade 5, I think, where I was doing things like that, like trying to be liked by the cool crowd or the teachers or whatever. So I would like betray my friend, you know?
Yeah.
Suck up to the teacher secretly or whatever. That kind of stuff was like grade five. I've talked about this before, I think on several podcasts, but like grade five, grade six, like Sanker was just a fucking piece of shit. And that's how I look at people now that I'm older is you are grade five, grade six, Daniel Sanker, and I hate that guy.
Right. Like, how did you not grow out of it? You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
grew out of most of it, but you're still kind of that. What do you think it
Yeah.
is about that people pleasing, I guess, personality trait that people have? Like, what is the point? Because I've never really, I'd lie if I said I didn't hope that somebody liked me in my life, but that whole like I need everybody or most people to like me. I think maybe I just lack the imagination or the patience to probably like try to pretend I'm better than I am.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually don't know what to connect with people. Like I don't know how to compliment like, oh, you have a very nice school bag. Like I wouldn't know
You
how
don't
to
know how
do it,
to ingratiate yourself.
how to suck ass. You know what I mean? So I was just like, but I want to understand what's the point of having a lot of people like you? Because I hear like
So
ultimately it's a very empty feeling at the end of
So
the day.
I think I can only speak to my perspective of being
Yeah,
like
that's
a
what I want to
people
hear.
pleaser. I don't know if other people are really that fucking crazy where they're thinking
Oh,
of a
they are.
tally of like I'm gonna get everyone to love me or whatever.
Dude, just look at comedy. There's a lot of comedians, especially I would say the newer ones.
Yeah, yeah,
And by newer ones, I mean the ones that I was aware of 5 years ago.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
The actual new ones that started last month, I have not a
I have
clue
no
who they
idea.
are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But my end of things is not, I'm thinking in my head, I want everyone to like me. It's that, I guess, somewhat narcissistic, but also OCD thing in you that it's like, you
Mm,
ever heard comics talk about like how they'll be performing and everybody will be laughing except for two people
mm.
peppered in, and they just focus on those two people or that one
Yeah, I've heard
person,
of that.
and they can't so it's
Unsee
not
them.
about getting everyone to like you. It's that when one person doesn't like you, it just needles at your brain and sticks there. So you're not thinking about the rest of the people. Oh, and you're not thinking of a tally where you're trying to get everyone to like you. It's just it's like an OCD of like, why doesn't that person like me? Why did it, And it digs at you.
Is it so much like the approval of that person, or is it more like you need to know what you're lacking right now, like what you're not uh what's making you unlikable specifically. So if they just go,
Yeah.
you know what, man, I just don't like your face. I you remind me of somebody that I hated. You know what I mean? Like, will that make it better? Like, is
It
that the
depend.
thing that satisfies the insecurity?
I think it depends on who. Like for me, if it was like, oh, Sanker's French Canadian and I hate French Canadians.
Right,
If
right.
if I can categorize that now that you're a xenophobic or whatever, then I could get over it, right? But if
What
it's
is
a
that?
personality
What's it?
trait,
Yeah,
I
it's a
like
xenophobe.
xenophobe is someone who it's basically, if I had to really summarize it in my head, is if you're racist to one type of white person in particular culturally, because
Okay.
really any other race, like you're technically xenophobic if you go, I hate Persians, right? And then they go, oh, you don't like Middle Eastern people? And you go, no, the rest of them are fine. I do not like Persians. And being specific to a nation type people, but has nothing to do with their race, is xenophobic. But if you add in race, it's racism. So it's racism
That
without color. It's like cultural. It's like,
oh, like you don't like the culture.
yeah, like, okay, for example, if you hate Salvadorians, you're not Salvadorian, right? You hate them
Yeah.
because you're just like, yeah, what a shit people and culture and everything. You're being xenophobic. But because racially,
Wow.
there's not really any racism there, it's just
I'm very xenophobic.
that's and you know what?
Wow. Yeah.
It's in my opinion, nothing wrong with xenophobia. I'm
I'm
okay.
incredibly xenophobic then. Wow.
Yeah,
That's why
like
you said you didn't. What term did you just recently learn? You said it was the.
virtue signaling. Like I would,
I'm just I'm
I
just
hear
starting
those
to
terms.
understand what gaslighting is now.
Oh
I
yeah, I
think I
was late
used
to
it the
that.
other day. Yeah, I was like, you're gaslighting. I forget why I mentioned that, but I think I'm starting to understand these terms now, and I
A
don't like
lot of
them.
a lot of people, an easy way to understand gaslighting, it's not, I don't think it's like the full term, but there's a section of gaslighting that they really just mean trolling. Like some people are
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
like trying to get a rise out of someone on purpose. So you say things you don't believe, you you push them in a certain direction just to make them mad, and
yeah.
that's
You're
like
provoking them in a
you're
way.
provoking their anger for fun or just because you want to see it because you're evil or whatever, but that's gaslighting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not up to these new terms.
Hmm.
I don't even know. Like, I've read a couple online. I've just like mogged. I just
I
read
don't
one called mogged,
I don't know
mogging. I
that
don't know
one.
if this is like some streamer language.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I guess there's like a lot of streamers on my social media. It's not like I follow them, but their clips come up a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'll like something, I guess, what they're talking about, and then I'll see all these new streamers come
Sure,
about,
sure.
like that
Yeah,
guy
that's how the
Neon or
internet works
whatever.
now.
Yeah.
I
Oh, it's
started
creepy.
disliking things to try to affect my algorithm. And I always used to like, I remember I believed in this back in the day. This made sense. Back in the day, if you did not like a clip on YouTube or something, I always thought, and content creators or whatever, Opie and Anthony stuff, they would say you're such a piece of shit for clicking the dislike button. Because if you didn't like it, just move, go to the next video. There's no point to it. But there's a point now. And the
Yeah.
point is, I'm gonna dislike this. So I don't get these videos because the my phone will know that I disliked the video and won't
Yeah.
show me more of some fucking crap, and that's what
Bullshit. Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
use. So now I'm sorry to people who I'm sure your content is great and fits an audience. You're getting my dislike not because I dislike it. I don't want to see it again because I
Yeah.
dislike it, I guess.
No, I'm all
Because
for
I
disliking
dislike it.
shit. And they should bring a feature of dislike, because whether it's that person's contents that's like a specific content creator, or it's just the content in itself. Like let's say it's about Ukraine.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear any more about Ukraine, and especially I don't want to hear from this Ukrainian. I'd rather just hit dislike. I don't see this guy or this topic anymore. Now they just
yeah,
flood you with too much. So I'm all in favor for this this fancy dislike idea.
yeah. There's also one that I love on. I think it's only on YouTube. Is they have a button. You have to like go find it though. Like you have to, it's not readily available. I think you have to click on those three dots and then it's an option, but there's not interested. So you're not clicking dislike. You're just saying, hey, algorithm, don't show me these videos. I'm not interested, which I love because I'm
What are
not,
some of the videos you've disliked that you're tired of seeing?
anything that is, and this is an easy soft target, but anything that's an original video and then AI speaking over it, telling you what's in the video, like an
Yeah.
AI narration of a video that probably existed before. And also half the time that's not true. So it'll be like a guy fixing a deck, and it'll be like, this guy figured out a new special way to fix a deck. And then you're watching
Mm.
him, he does like something, but I'm sure that guy released a video. So I not interested or I dislike those. But yeah, certain topics like I'm trying to really get out of like anything political or whatever because it just started to bore me all of a sudden. So right
Yeah.
wing or left wing, I just kind of push them to the side right now.
I'm a little bit like that too. I'm kind of sick of all these politics, but right now I think they're starting to pull me back in with the what's going on in Minnesota with the Somalian scams.
I don't
I'm
even know
like,
about that.
there's some guy going around going to like these daycare centers that are funded by the state, and it's run by Somalians. And they're like, as for this website, it shows that you have 72 children in this place, and there's no kids at all, and they're getting like millions of dollars
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like funneled to them from the state. They're up to over several billion dollars that Somalians have scammed off Minnesota. And when you see them confront Somalians
Yeah.
and they, hey, no camera, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking fight, I'm like, this is really entertaining. Like, I
Apparently,
want this
and
away from this because it pisses me off, but this is entertaining me now.
no, that's different. That's like, yeah, I guess I guess the people who focus on it could be politically motivated in terms of like, can you believe this? You know, whatever, right? But doesn't make the videos not entertaining, you know?
Yeah, it's still very entertaining, and I think that's obviously why they're putting them out. Sometimes in like the fashion that they put them out, it's very much like not clickbaity, but they know how to keep you
Yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
interested in watching. And I don't, I was thinking about it as far as like people coming to like the US, for example, and taking advantage of their social programs. And I was just kind of wondering, like, hasn't the US in a weird way been asking for this for like a long time to be taken advantage of? Like, if you're promoting yourself as like the land
The
of the
best.
free and
That
all your
yeah.
dreams can come true, and you're the big daddy of the planet, like getting involved in people's conflicts and all that shit, parenting everything. I'm like, wouldn't that give the impression to the world, especially these shitty countries,
Yeah.
that if you just come to the US, they're gonna take care of you and pamper you and baby you and whatever. So I'm like almost like, what do you expect these people to actually think? Especially the scammers or the criminal types. They're like, we could just go over there and make money. We could just go over there and take advantage. It's kind of the
A
US's
list of
fault.
all
What's going on to them? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I so I don't know about your family because obviously we are direct descendants from immigrants or whatever, or well, me immigrant. I don't know what about your family, but something my dad started saying like later in my life, like once I hit my 20s, because he came to this country with his mom and his all his siblings and everything like that. And the idea was things in Guyana. It's not like it's a problem, but like you don't, you know, there's a ceiling. You only get so high. You kind of live in a little town, and you know you don't make a lot of money and kind of struggle with money from time to time. So let's go to Canada. Or there's other Guyanese people who went to America, and the idea was you're gonna do better over there because it's a land of opportunity and thing. And that happened for my dad, and people made money, right? But then at a certain point, things started to like improve slightly in Guyana, I think. But then also, my dad started telling me he's like, there's some people who like they owned a house, they had a good job or business in Guyana, and never worried about money, food, none of that stuff, right?
Sure.
But they wanted to go to the upper echelon, so they thought they heard all this stuff about America being the great land and free and money making capitalism, all this stuff, and they came here. And my dad's like, they're idiots. Like they're he wasn't that mean, but he was like,
No,
you had a
I'm
good
with them.
life, right?
Yeah.
But this belief is so strong. So I don't know if your family has that. That's my question is like we started talking about now not everyone should come here because there was a time to come here, but now if you have a good job and a thing in Guyana, just stay. You're good.
Yeah.
You have a house. There's
I
no
mean, with
improvement needed.
from what I've been made aware of as far as like our specific situation,
Yeah.
my mom came because her family, they live in the US, and she was supposed to first come. I don't know what the setup was back
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
but she
yeah.
had to come to Canada first. So she came to Montreal, and I think she was just waiting for paperwork at the time just to cross
Go to the
over. My
US. Yeah.
dad, from what I heard, had to flee Peru because he had been shot at by the police. It was one of those, you have to get out of here,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
type
yeah.
of situation. So him and a cousin decided they're going to come to Canada, but they were going to get paperwork also done to move to the US eventually.
Right, right, right.
So they landed in Canada first, like my mom. And that's where they met in a Montreal laundromat. And the
To
story is my mom was putting like her clothes in the machine, and my dad was there to wash his disco suit, like his John Travolta disco suit, because there was blood on it. Yes, he had gotten into a fight the night before. And and he walks up to my mom with like some change and paid for her thing. Like
Oh,
that was his
smooth. That's
the
smooth.
smooth move. Yeah.
That is smooth.
And what's it called? So they got kind of like, she said, I wanted nothing to do with him. You know, he
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
kind of like a problem.
Arrogant. Yeah, yeah.
But he kept pursuing her. He kept, following her.
Yeah,
Say, I
harassing
wish I
her.
should take you her badly. This punk. And then finally she gave him a chance. They had a little date or whatever, and then started seeing each other. Then Word from the US comes from my mom. It's like, oh, we got this set up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
time
yeah.
for you can now move to New York. And what's it called? My dad apparently the night before was crying in a park, like, and convinced her to not
Just to not to
to
stay here.
stay with her. Yeah.
Yeah,
So she told my grandma, like, oh, I'm gonna stay in Canada. I'm gonna marry this guy. And
yeah,
that's how they just stayed in Canada. So my mom would have ended up in the US and who knows
yeah,
what
yeah,
her
yeah.
life would have been. My dad, however, I don't know if he would have eventually, probably, but who knows, um, would have stayed in Canada or the US. But point is like if it wasn't for him getting violent the night before at a discotheque, I wouldn't be. The
Never be
Goblin and Ogre
born.
podcast
Yeah,
would
yeah,
never
yeah,
exist.
yeah, yeah. And
But
Canada
God bless
wouldn't
that man.
Canada wouldn't have a tennis hero if all that didn't
That's
happen.
right.
That's crazy.
That's
You
right.
think about it. That is yeah, yeah.
It
No,
is.
it's it yeah, there's just this changing thing of like there's no reason to come here now for some people. Like honestly, I can't even be mad at the people who are like in a war-torn country and they just need to get out and they go, "Where can I go?" And if Canada puts up your hand, you can't blame them. They're like, "Yeah, okay, whoever," right?
Yeah.
Um,
That's my problem with Indians. There's so many of them. There's so fucking many of them. But I think of what India is like, and I'm like, who wouldn't want to leave that
well,
place and come to somewhere like here?
it
But like, I
you
get it, but it's still super fucking annoying
but that's
for a bunch of
changing.
reasons.
That's
Hmm.
change. Now I need to learn more about my ancestral land of
Yeah.
India or whatever, because that's where my ancestors are from. I really don't so little to nothing
Yeah.
about it. But India, this is what I learned, I think, is that India, the English went, oh, this is a country. And there's a bunch of different people. Tribes is probably not the right term, but whatever. Tribes of people, different types of people. And they go, no, no, we're not. Like we're like these type of people, and those people are those type of people over there, like Punjabis and whatever, all
But
you know?
a lot
And
of xenophobia.
yeah, a lot of xenophobia for sure. And then the English came in and said, "No, you're not xenophobic. This is a country, so
Yeah, you're all the same.
you're all the same, right?" And look, I'll be fair to them. I know we all like to talk about racism and everything, but
Yeah,
a lot of them they look the same. Those are my own people. My
sure.
I'm sure Guyanese people because they're like the other country that came from there. I'm sure there's different types of Indians in
Yeah, yeah.
amongst the Guyanese. Ah, so that was the same. I get it. I get it, English. They did look the same. But because those were different people, there are different areas of India. So there are thriving areas of India that are
Yeah,
nicer than here.
sure.
So it's like the
I've never
thing
seen
of
them.
it, India, yeah, like there's Dubai-ish parts of India
Yeah.
is my point. So it's kind of like coming here for better. It kind of they could go to those areas. The only problem is that they're overpopulated.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I get annoyed at it, especially like when I'm riding the public transit and I see like clearly an Indian from India who's hasn't been here long with his feet up on the seat. Like I want to fucking throw my bag at him.
You know
I
what?
just want to toss it right in his face and just be like, get your fucking smelly, disgusting third world feet off my beautiful Canadian public transit seats. Yeah, but I can't do it. What's funny? I got sad the other day because I did see one of those Indians with their feet up, and I wanted to really fucking get up and like
Get mad.
almost go viral on the internet.
Yeah,
But I remember I'm a 40-year-old man. Like,
yeah.
get
It's
away.
time to mature.
I had to think of all these things and go like, I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it. And it makes me a little sad, not so much growing older, but the fact that I'm not young enough to do something like that and kind of get away with it. Like still be like, he's a young guy, he got a little heated, and he overreacted.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, as much as I want to, I just can't. I fucking can't
You have
anymore.
something to lose.
I have so much to
You
lose. Yeah,
you have so much to lose. Yeah.
like That was a little coming of age thing, and it,
I,
and it had to
I
do with trying to be
good for
violent
you.
towards an immigrant.
Good for you. On the
Yeah,
Indians thing, I try to uh feverishly or fervently, whatever the word is, not defend them, but like there's some things that some people say, even amongst comedians and stuff, where I go, Ugh, that one felt a little racist. I don't know how, I don't, you know me, I don't stop it, but I'm going, ugh, that one, they are sort of my people. And I have this like thought in my head of like, these are sort of my people. They're my, there's a connection there somewhat. So once in a while I go, ugh, that one felt a little racist. That one was,
so
but the
so you'll
truth
hear
is,
things like, will you hear things
yeah,
where you're just like that's a little much, like
in
you
my head,
kind of
yeah.
yeah, exactly. But and what are sort of those things that that you heard that you're like that's unfair
I,
about Indians?
well, this is part of my point. I won't say I think they're all unfair. It just hurts.
Sure, right. It just
It,
hurts your feelings.
yeah. Like I'll say one is
Right,
that
right.
I've seen many a video and people talking in person too or whatever, but just talk about how like disgusting Indians are, and when like there's videos where like they're making food in India or whatever, and they're like moving something with their hands, and then they're like,
Or
oh,
stirring
in
it
the
with their
comments you'll
feet.
see people
Yeah.
like they fucking pick their nose and then touch your food. I'm not gonna eat that shit in that shit country. I read that stuff and I'm like, come on, man. You know the same video exists in fucking Mexico where they're like touching everything with their
Sure.
like it's ever
There's a
what
dirt bag in every country,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Making food.
Yeah. So some of that stuff I'm like, oh man, but at the same time I have to go, but he did pick up the roti with his feet. Like
Right.
so I have a conflicting, maybe I'm being this is another term I learned recently, a snowflake. Maybe I'm being a
Oh yeah,
snowflake,
yeah.
but it's just something about it goes like, and I assume this is how a lot of people feel. Is like people complain a bunch about fucking Peruvians if you guys were more famous, I know it's always Mexican, but let's say it was Peruvians, all stuff. You probably would go, oh, it's kind of true, but fuck, man, that's kind of
No, I
calm
would.
down.
I would get. No, I would give. I would have no sympathy for Peruvians. If they came here and were fucking disgusting, I would be like, yeah, like I'm not. I
Yeah.
wasn't born there. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah.
disassociate
You
from them. Like, yeah,
disassociate
my
more.
dad's Peruvian, but I don't know what those people are fucking doing. And Indians, as far as being disgusting, they deserve it. Because there's like some fucking videos right now, coming out where you see a Domino's pizza worker clipping her toenails at work. While sitting on the food prep table, she decided to bring her toenail clippers to work and be like, this is a great place to get this done at,
Okay.
and people are videoing her. And or I saw another Indian chick in the stairwell chewing on her toenails in public. And you look at that, and you're just like, okay, that's disgusting. I'm going to apply that to every fucking Indian because I'm not hearing enough Indians coming out
To say
and condemning that shit and
so
being like, that's fucked up, that's wrong. We're not like that. She needs to fucking keep her feet out of her mouth.
yeah,
You need
yeah,
to
yeah.
clip your fucking toenails in your
S-
bathroom at home. But there's no, you can't defend that is the point.
So
So I go, there's not enough of fucking brown people. Like you see them online, like, oh, as an Indian, as a brown guy,
I
this is
don't.
disturbing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
but there's not enough. You see it
Well,
in comments. You have to go
also,
read the comments to see that. There's no video of people coming out and be like, "Hey, we're just like people think we're disgusting and we're not. This is like the Northern Indians or this is
oh,
I need to see shit like that in order to be like, okay, Indians. I don't think you're
so
all disgusting
you're
now.
all, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's an old thing that was similar to like around 9/11 after people,
Hmm,
a lot of Americans wanted more Muslims and like Middle Eastern people in general to come out and condemn it. Or if you
sure.
take it similarly to the like Charlie Kirk thing more recently, they wanted left wing people to just come out and say, "Hey, I didn't like this guy,
Hmm,
but this is bullshit," or whatever. And
right.
I think that's a truth about humans in general is they just want like I'll treat you better. And I do think that type of thought does lead to racism that I don't like, but I also can't just on its base disagree with that concept of like, hey, just you know what it
Just
is? It's
yeah.
gaslighting by pretending like it's not thing. Is there gas? That's how people feel. That term didn't exist, but they're gaslighting us by saying that's not gross. You ungaslight me by making a video and coming out.
Yeah.
I also want to say the problem with the comments that you see as an Indian, I deplore
Uh,
this, whatever. I'm a big believer in this, and you see it in comments, people write it, they'll go, we don't know that person's Indian. It could be a white guy named Jeff who just
yeah.
like wants to like be troll or be part of it or something. But and this is the fucked up thing about the internet, how do I know
How do you really
that
know? Yeah.
Kerpal in the comment section is really Kerpal and not Kevin?
Right, because we all know 46-year-old Steve is out there pretending to be a 13-year-old girl, like somewhere on multiple forums.
Exactly.
But but where's Bob, 52, somewhere in the world pretending to be an Indian
Yeah.
guy?
But I think I'm just saying it's
Yeah,
possible. I'm not saying I
yeah,
know it to be true. I can't understanding my understanding of humanity and the amount of lying we are capable of doing for no
yeah,
reason. I know
yeah,
you've known people, and we've talked about this on this podcast. I've known people in my life who lied, and I couldn't figure out why they lied. It
yeah,
wasn't an
yeah.
important lie. It doesn't even make them seem cool. They just lied about
Oh,
something for no reason.
yeah. I mean, that's the th I know we all lie. Like
Yeah.
I've lied, but like as far as the lies of like you get a phone call like, did you do this? And you're looking at the thing you were supposed to do and you didn't, you're just like, yeah. Because you know you're gonna do it before
Yeah,
they
yeah,
come
yeah.
home. So it's more like I just don't want to hear the bullshit. I'm just gonna lie and say, yeah, I did it. Because guess what? It's not gonna be a lie in about 10 minutes when I actually get up to
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah,
But that fucking like I'm going to create an entire story. Like and for whatever reason, there's never really a good enough reason. I think maybe you could do that if you're gonna apply for a certain job. You're like, this is how I'm
Sure.
going to lie at my job interview to get the
That's
job.
fine.
Like that's more understandable.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that, hey, you know what? I just met some people. We kind of hit it off. I'm going to meet them later tonight. You know what? I am going to tell them I'm from some royalty. That I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
like
yeah,
something
yeah.
like a fucked up lie that you now have to live forever. See, something like that I find unforgivable. Something
But
like that I just I
you're
can't
right.
understand that.
Okay, I won't use the word unforgivable. It just would it's not that I wouldn't forgive them, but once I found out it was a lie, it's like I can't I forgive you. I can't
Nope.
hang out with you anymore because it's
That's what
too
I
uncomfortable.
That's the unforgivableness.
Oh,
To
okay, yeah,
forgive
yeah.
somebody would be like, we could still hang out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm like, no, if you're able to lie about something like this, I can't trust you ever
Oh,
again.
that's
Like,
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's you made your bed, now go to sleep in the type of thing. I want nothing to do with that. It's too creepy. Like to just blatantly make something up. Like and
But
a lot of people, the biggest problem right now, I think, is like accusing people of crimes or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to get some type of revenge or anything like that, or to this happens in a lot of divorces too, where one parent will lie about the other one doing something just to get the kids.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
fucks
yeah.
that person's life forever. Oh God, I hate like
I
just
that
I think that's our biggest problem as human beings is that the
it's
free will
dishonesty.
thing God gave us, we also apply it into just making shit up.
Made it. Yeah, yeah, it's true.
That's what Lucifer really hates about us.
They're liars.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you guys are liars. Well, I'll show you lying. Like, if you guys want to be
I'm the
lied
great
to.
deceiver.
And often I've thought like, do people just want to be lied to sometimes?
Yeah,
Like
sometimes.
maybe the truth is a little bit too much to fucking handle.
Look,
So
there's
you
small versions of that. Like if you think
yeah
about it, like if you if you see someone and they were just walking out of the bathroom, right? Uh you sometimes people just go a little lie. They're like, "Oh, hey," like you just ran into somebody and you shake their hand and they're like, uh "Oh, yeah, sorry, I just went to go wash my face or whatever." Which is a lie. You were turtled on the toilet diarrhea and stuff, but you
Yeah.
just kind of snip out that part and you just say, "Oh yeah, sorry, I just went to go wash my face. Hey, good to see you." Because people, the person who's being their hand being shaken wants that lie. Please lie to me.
Right. They don't want to know that that's not water and it's actually diuretic shit sweats.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
That's an acceptable lie.
sure.
You just have to figure out the line. There's some point where a lie becomes unacceptable and it becomes creepy or untrustworthy, like it's an indication of your character. There's that
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Ugh, fuck me,
But
man.
I did want to talk about because this is our end of year episode. By the time our next episode comes out, we're in the new year. We're in 2026. Uh,
Yeah.
I've had this new thing. I was watching this thing. Do you think 2025 was a shit year? Because that's like this is one of those years that's like coming out online or whatever. Like they did it for 2020. Obviously, that was
Yeah.
like the height of the COVID, whatever. So 2025, 2020 was a shit year. Do you think 2025, not for you,
Yeah.
because obviously you
But
found
but
out
but
you
the
have a
world.
child coming, the general society to, yeah,
And I don't think it was as bad as the other years previous to it. I think it was kind of mellow. I mean, there is some every year is going to have some big significant thing happen. I remember this year, if you say, "Oh, what's the worst thing you can remember about 2025?" Be like, Charlie Kirk's assassination was really fucked up. That to me was probably the most like, wow, this could be really fucking
yeah, yeah,
bad,
yeah,
like type of deal. Like obviously not much has come from that. A lot of people are trying to move on from that, except Candace Owens, who I think is
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
care
just
what
not
anyone
letting
says.
that shit die. Yeah,
I
yeah,
I'm not even saying she's wrong about everything. I do
yeah.
think she's somewhat insane. I
I love
and
it.
I'm not saying she's not right about some stuff, but in the way that I think Alex Jones is somewhat insane. Doesn't mean
Right.
they're wrong about everything. I'm just saying you listen
The
to her and you're
insanity,
like, "Oh, something's wrong."
well, the insanity about those two, like an Alex Jones or a
Yeah, yeah.
Candace Owens, is that if they're really going up against who, like you believe, like let's just call them the Illuminati, if you are really one of those people who are going up against something like that, history shows that everybody that has gone up against that gets assassinated, gets killed, gets
Yeah, yeah.
quieted down. So I go, yes, you have to be crazy in a sense to just overlook all that, bypass that type of, I guess, consequence. But what they're talking about, I don't think is crazy because a lot of it. You saw the Dave Chappelle special.
No, no, I didn't watch it. I'm thinking of watching it, but I'm a little over him, to be honest. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
be mean. I'm just a
no,
little,
no, it's fine. But he
yeah, yeah.
does have a thing he says in there where he goes like, "Don't be the guy that knows." You know what I mean? Like there's people everywhere online that goes like, I know that this is what happened. I know, like I know this and that. He's like, that makes you look stupid. Like that makes you look kind of weird because how do you really know? You don't. Like no matter how much
Yeah,
research
yeah.
and interviews or investigating you do, you could think you could think something's like, you know what, I believe this is what's happening. But when you go, I know for sure, you know what I mean? That's crazy, apparently. And I agree with that. And I've been like that
Yeah,
a lot. Where I'm like, I think I know that the world is
yeah,
run
yeah,
by
yeah,
evil pedophiles, but do I really know?
yeah.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have a strong belief. And I think like when Candace Owens or whatever they're talking and Alex Jones has that I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Candace Owens is the I'm asking questions. I'm asking a lot of questions and I'm developing theories based off the answers. So she's a little bit more like I'm just gathering information and
Mhm.
then seeing like what makes sense. So I go, I like her because yeah, she's crazy because it looks like according to her, the president of France and his tranny wife want to have her assassinated.
Yeah, yeah.
And she brings receipts. She brings, but then again, her proof, we could look at it, go like, she could have done that with AI. She
Yeah,
could
yeah,
have made
yeah.
that herself. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. But I go, it is nuts to go up against these superpowers and have a huge platform because you and I could talk shit all day long about all types of dangerous people. We'll never have a scratch on us as a result of it because our platform's not that big. But if
Yeah.
we if we were speaking to millions of people, somebody's going to get in my ear. Someone's going to get in your ear. We're going to be called to a special meeting probably if our platform becomes massive to the point where people are listening. So that's what makes Candace Owens dangerous is that she has a huge platform and she talks about people, whether she's right about it or wrong about it. It's still not good for them who she's talking about. Now Erica Kirk looks like she's been plotting against her husband this whole time to have
Yeah,
him
yeah, yeah.
assassinated so she could take over Turning Point USA. Or she's talking about the French leader's wife being a man, so it's
I here's
it's
my thing. Two
crazy.
things on that is one, I
Yeah,
sometimes I watch that stuff and I go, I okay, why do I care? If
yeah.
it is, I get it. It's creepy that they lie and they have this whole thing, but clear that that lie would be based on the fact that they didn't feel people would accept them and stuff. So I'm like, I don't care. And the Candace Owens thing, I used to have this thought when she was first kind of gaining popularity. I people used to tell me they're like, oh, she's smart and she thinks these things, and it was something in my gut that made me feel like I think she's just in it for the money. I think it's just
Right.
like this is how you make, and that's not a right wing thing. I think that's like exists on the left wing. Again, the white knights. Some white knights do it for the money,
Yeah.
and some of them have fallen out of favor and then admitted it later that they did it for the money. So I think there's a do it for the money online thing. Like to be honest, if I knew for sure that if
Mm,
I came out with a very right-wingy platform and I could make $100,000 a year doing that on YouTube,
yeah.
I wouldn't, but there would be a temptation for me to be like, oh, fuck, whatever. That's better than
Well,
doing a job. I
yeah.
think that's what my gut feeling with her over the years has always been is it just felt like she may be right about things, but it's a coincidence to whatever gets her views, and that's what she's
I
about.
I would agree. I think that at the beginning, yeah, it's definitely for the money. Oh, we're gonna become popular, internet personalities, yada yada. But then when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and those two were friends, or like now she has to sit back and go, okay, I have this platform. I'm being fed the narrative, and the narrative doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So now this is maybe a little bit more than just money. Now I like if Charlie could just get killed like that, she can, Crowder can, Milo Yiannopoulos can, even comedians like can. So you go, this is setting a dangerous thing where we need to find out exactly what happened because we can't just have public speakers going around saying things that you don't like and then you feel that they deserve to get shot. So you go, okay, if I'm one of these Charlie Kirk people, like money would probably like you go, okay, yeah, there'll be more views because yes, somebody died and we're talking about this. But now we got to get to the bottom of what the fuck actually happened because this is no one's safe then. And to sort of like try to really break down the evidence and what's more plausible than like the FBI story about it is important right now because if the truth doesn't come out, well, then just anybody could get murdered and people will just move on from it. They'll just believe the story and move on from it. And that's not right. So now it's a little bit more than just money. And that's a little bit of the feeling I'm getting now about it. Before I would agree, yeah, it was for money. But now that we actually have people getting killed about it, you have to really figure out what's happening because this sets a bad, what do you call it, precedent
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for anything to come. It actually really endangers free speech. You could say what you want, but now it's okay to get murdered for it.
I
So, that's I think now it went into that area,
Yeah, yeah.
I believe.
But my truth, and this is my summation of this year, is you'll learn everything that mattered this year. We're gonna stop caring about. And I had this feeling like I'm like, you can feel it. Israel, Palestine, all the people who are so pro either side or whatever, it's just kind of slowing down and bubbling. They're going to move on to the next thing. And the same thing, Charlie Kirk thing will be popular, but something else will happen and people will shift. And I've realized this for years, but 2025 is going to be a really good example of that is everything we care about, we just lose interest and we move on to the next thing. And we just move
That's
on.
so
And
bad. Yeah.
but it's true. And there's nothing in history that wasn't true about this.
Yeah.
We just
I
move
mean,
on.
history shows, yeah, that you just move on from it.
Just move
I'm
on.
fucking, I'm still shocked, like, at the amount of like 9/11. I don't know how I got involved with this. I guess I'm following
You were
some
involved in
9/11 group.
9/11?
No, just the group, their Facebook group.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have a bunch of them,
The
and I
truthers
guess
like face.
right,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, and I see a lot of the comments too of like, oh, we'll never forget. Like people are still very hurt by 9/11, but
Yeah,
nobody really wants to talk about it. Nobody really wants to revisit it. Nobody wants to look at new evidence. Nobody really wants to do. People just want to be fucking sad about it and
yeah.
move on.
It's
Nobody
over.
cares that, hey, there's like Israel was involved with nine. Hey, there's new evidence that there was actual explosions planted. Like, and people are like, no, no. Like a large group of people that were affected by the 9/11 attacks don't even want to fucking hear it. They just want to be sad about it. And that's weird to me. They don't want any type of, I don't know, like any more answers than what the official story was. Because what is it? Will it be too, it would be much more painful? Do they just not want to reopen you? They just want to blame Muslims. And they're like, I'm angry at Muslims. I'm sad that
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
dad or loved one died. And I just want to move on from it. And when I think about it, I just want to be sad. I don't want to know anything more. So it's almost like like what you're saying is next year, what happened this year, people are just going to move on from
Yeah.
because I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably till the end of my life. Who knows when that'll be? But if I every time I think about the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm disturbed by it.
And
I'm disturbed by the theories. I'm disturbed by what I saw, and I remember when I first saw it, it looked fake to me.
yeah, yeah.
The shark sent me a clip of the bullet or whatever, or the shot or whatever. And I remember watching it and zooming in on the wound. The fucking blood I was looking at looked digital to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I never
Well,
told anybody that. Like the way it was flowing out looked didn't
like
look
degree.
and the way it was supposed they described the shot, where's the big splatter?
I do. Well,
You know what I mean?
I do think we have like faulty medical. I watch a lot of videos. So I like, there'll be like a medical expert watching a movie, and they're like, that's not. We are affected by movies. I'm not saying that's for sure what happened there. I'm just
Oh, big
saying we
time.
are affected by nonsense in movies, and
Yeah, we really are.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's
And that's what the Shakespeare quote, all the world's a stage type of deal. It really
yeah,
fucking is because when you go outside and just engage and interact with actual real life, we go to comedy shows, or you go to the fucking grocery store, it's not movie-ish at all. You know what I mean? There's nothing theater like in those settings. But then when
yeah,
you
yeah,
sit home and you watch the news or you watch social media clips, there does seem to be like this weird, like, hey, why doesn't any of this shit happen when I'm around? I've been
yeah,
around
yeah.
life 40 years. Like, why isn't all this playing out when I'm around? It just seems like a big theater production, the shit you watch. And I think that's also part of like why you go like, man, why do people lie so much? It's because when you lie, it's better than the truth because your lies could be much more entertaining.
Hmm.
Like, because the truth is fucking weird. Like when you actually think about like reality of things, it just goes into uncomfortable weirdness. Like you're like, really? Where they say life is stranger than fiction, or the truth is stranger than fiction, and that's actually true as far as like things your lies go. You could control your lie. So now you're controlling perception. Now you're controlling people's ideas by by fucking lying to them, by giving misinformation. And yeah, I think maybe that's just kind of like how human beings are more easily because I think we are an erratic, chaotic, violent uh species. So how do you not let all that evil come out, all that dangerousness come out? You have to lie to people. You have to control them in that way. Because if they have too much freedom of thought, it could get out of hand, I guess. So it's almost like this weird. You have to lie to people, otherwise it might be a big disaster. But then you
I
go, I still don't like being lied to.
I know, but also, and this is my final thought on lying or whatever, is that like we also have to remember sometimes you just lie to entertain yourself, or now the commodity is getting views or whatever. This is where I come back to like YouTube people, Instagram people, whatever they have their channels and stuff, is a very big misunderstood thing in life is the telephone game as a kid.
Hmm.
You know, the telephone game, the whole
Yeah, yeah.
idea and social experiment behind it that you teach kids is this is how a truth can get distorted with no bad agents. It's just, I say apple soda, right? And then you hear something you hear it, but
Applesauce.
apple sauce, yeah, and by the end it becomes barbecue sauce. And by the time and it's all just the slight misunderstandings happen in small increments by the time you get around. And that's the idea. But the
By the end
truth
of it,
is,
by the end of applesauce, it ends to Bill Clinton was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 17 times.
yeah, in second grade classes, it comes up every time. It's the truth about
Yeah.
life. Yeah, yeah. But that's a very misunderstood part of and you can tell me if you were different. When I was a kid and we played the telephone game, that's not what happened in the telephone game. If you had
Yeah.
10 kids lined up, kid number three, when it gets to him and somebody goes apple soda to him, he turns to the next kid and goes cock soda
Yeah.
because it's funny.
I
He
was that
knew,
kid.
he heard apple soda. People
Yeah.
are gonna be listening to this being like, "What the fuck is apple soda?" It exists.
Yeah.
I used to
It
buy
does.
it. Yeah.
It's called manzana and it's from
Oh,
Ecuador.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. See, that's how we were in. I knew we were in link for some reason. But yeah, he says cock soda just because it's funny, it's entertaining,
Yes,
and
it's funny.
that's what 90% of the telephone game when it messed up when I was a kid was a kid who was in the middle and he decided this is gonna be great.
He
And
was the original disinfo agent. Yeah.
that's right. And sometimes disinformation is just entertaining, and that's why we do it. And that's the misunderstanding of the telephone game.
That's that's true. That's fucking true. Shit. I mean, I was that kid because it was
That's what
funny.
I knew you were.
Whatever.
I'm really
Um,
hoping I could. I can't. I would love to call this episode "Cock Soda," but I don't think
you
we
could.
can. I don't
You
think
just
we
miss
can.
just put CAWK.
Cock soda. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cock
I'll either
soda.
do that or apple soda.
Apple
um.
soda. Just call, yeah, just apple soda.
All right. Let's do final thoughts for 2025, and call this a episode.
I thought 2025 was the better year of all the 2020s so far. I think 2021, 22,
Mm,
23, 24 have all been miserable years for me. 2025, for me personally, was a good year. And I'm looking forward to 2026 even more. So that's how
fair
I
enough.
feel.
I feel personally 2025 was a bad year, but
Yeah.
mostly that's uncontrollable. I lost somebody important, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
On a grander scale of like the world and society, 2025 was a very interesting year because
Sure.
we're now seeing, even though I said I'm not as political, we're now seeing right-wing people turning on each other. But then people also forget after Trump won 2025, you saw a lot of left-wing people turning on each other. And I
Hmm.
think hopefully we're heading into a direction where there's three sets of people now. There's the people, these type of right-wing people and those type of left-wing people. And then there's like the middle people who are like, we know
I
what's
hope so.
really going on.
That sounds better, but you know what? That whole the right is turning on itself. What it is that you got lefty people who don't want to be a part of the like the cult-like mentality of the far left.
Yeah.
The far right cult mentality is the MAGA people now. The
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
who are still like Trump can do no wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
Those are
yeah.
now like those far left culty people.
Yeah.
And the other right side, the people who lean right are just like, no, they're fucking insane. Like we're not that dedicated to this fucking man who's clearly lying to us and giving us nothing for voting him in. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah,
So yeah, it's cult-like people that are the problem.
for
And
sure.
everyone else who leans a certain way is just open-minded, but they lean like more liberal, they lean more conservative, whatever it is. those are the ones who are really waking up to how a cult like people become. And that's I fucking hate cults. They're so fucking gay. But I mean, I hate those fucking people.
You know what?
Yeah.
If I understand how you got to that, but if you just isolated that statement as that's the least confrontational statement ever made, some guy going, "Man, I hate cults." Yeah, is that your big? You're getting out there.
Yeah, I want to be known.
I want to
I
let it be known.
despise the cult-like people. That's all I
All
have
right.
to say.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your 2025, and I'll talk to you in the new year later.
Yeah, man. Later.